Have you ever stopped to think that middle age, so often portrayed as a period of crisis and decline, might actually be the most transformative moment of your life? Yes, that point where many believe everything begins to fall apart could, in fact, be the start of something extraordinary. Today, we're going to explore a perspective that challenges conventional narratives and invites us to see the midlife crisis not as an end, but as an awakening, a moment of rebirth, rediscovery, and reconnection with who we truly are. Carl Jung, one of the greatest thinkers in modern psychology, once said, "Life really begins at 40. And while this phrase might sound like just another inspirational quote, it carries a depth that few dare to explore. Jung believed that the first 40 years of our lives are, in fact, a preparation, a rehearsal, so to speak, for what is to come. It's as if we are building the foundation of a house, but only in middle age do we begin to decorate the rooms, choose the colors for the walls, and decide how we truly want to live within it. But why then does society insist on making us believe that middle age is synonymous with loss, irrelevance, and decline? Why are we taught to fear this moment instead of celebrating it as a unique opportunity for transformation? That's exactly what we're going to uncover throughout this video. We'll dive deep into Jung's ideas, the metaphors that explain this period of life, and the truths that are often ignored. Because in the end, the midlife crisis isn't about what you've lost. It's about what you still have to gain. So, if you've ever felt stuck in a routine, as if something inside you is calling for change, or that the expectations the world has placed on you no longer make sense, stay with me. This video is for you. Together, we'll discover how middle age can be the starting point for the life you've always wanted to live, but perhaps never had the courage to pursue. Carl Jung, with his profound insights into the human psyche, offers us a revolutionary perspective on middle age, one that challenges the limiting narratives society imposes on us. For him, the first 40 years of life are not the peak, as many believe, but rather a preparation, a period in which we accumulate experiences, build our foundations, and often follow scripts we didn't consciously choose. It's as if we're climbing a mountain, believing the summit is the final destination, without realizing that upon reaching it, the real challenge and the true adventure is just beginning. Jung saw middle age as a turning point, a crucial moment when we are invited to look inward and question everything we've built so far. It's the moment when the masks we wear, the expectations we carry, and the roles we play begin to feel heavy. And contrary to what society would have us believe, this is not a sign of failure or loss of relevance. On the contrary, it's a call to something greater, the opportunity to reconnect with our true essence. But why then is middle age so often associated with decline? The answer lies in how we've been conditioned to view aging from an early age. We are bombarded with the idea that youth is the pinnacle of life, the period of greatest beauty, energy, and potential. From there, any sign of aging is treated as a threat, something to be fought or concealed. In this context, middle age is seen as the beginning of an inevitable descent, a time when we start to lose our place, our relevance, and in many cases, even our identity. But Jung invites us to view this period in a completely different way. For him, middle age is not about loss, but about gain. It's not about decline, but about awakening. It's the moment when we begin to question the stories we've been told and the ones we've told ourselves and seek deeper answers. Who are we, really, beyond the roles we play? What truly matters to us beyond the expectations we've tried to meet? And perhaps most importantly, how can we live more authentically, aligned with our values and passions? This awakening, however, does not come without discomfort. It takes courage to face the cracks that begin to appear in what we once believed to be solid. It requires a willingness to abandon old narratives and embrace the unknown. But it is precisely in this process that the beauty of middle age resides. Because as we free ourselves from the shackles of what we should be, we begin to discover who we truly are. And this discovery, as Jung teaches us, is the true purpose of life. Imagine a sculptor. For years, he spends his time accumulating tools, studying techniques, observing the world around him, and experimenting with small pieces of stone. He learns to handle the chisel, to understand the texture of marble, to recognize imperfections that can be transformed into unique details. But no matter how hard he has worked, he has not yet begun his masterpiece. He has not yet found that vision that truly inspires him, the one that will make him put all his learning into practice. And then at 40, something changes. He looks at the block of marble before him and, for the first time, sees what has always been there, waiting to be revealed. It is at this moment that he begins to sculpt, not just with his hands, but with his soul. This metaphor of the sculptor is a powerful way to understand middle age. During the early years of our lives, we are, in a way, accumulating tools. We learn from our experiences, face challenges, and follow paths that are often imposed or suggested by others. We build careers, relationships, and reputations. But amidst all of this, it is common to lose sight of who we truly are. Life becomes a series of tasks to complete, goals to achieve, and expectations to meet. And when we finally reach what we believe to be success, we often encounter an unexpected emptiness. Think, for example, of someone who has dedicated decades to building a brilliant career. This person followed all the rules, worked tirelessly, achieved recognition, and gained financial stability. But upon reaching the top, they realize something is missing. What once seemed like the ultimate goal now fails to bring the expected satisfaction. There is a sense of disconnection, as if life has been lived on autopilot, with no room to question what truly matters. This emptiness, though uncomfortable, is an invitation, a call to stop, reflect, and begin sculpting the true masterpiece. One's own life. This is where middle age becomes a turning point. Just like the sculptor who finally finds his vision, this is the moment when we are invited to look inward and rediscover our values and passions. What moves us? What makes us feel alive? What parts of ourselves have we set aside in the name of responsibilities, expectations, or social conventions? These questions may be difficult, but they are essential, because by answering them, we begin to shape a life that is not just functional, but meaningful. And, like the sculptor, we do not start from scratch. Everything we have lived up to now, the achievements, the mistakes, the lessons, becomes raw material for this new phase. Every accumulated experience is a tool we can use to sculpt something unique, something that reflects who we truly are. Middle age, then, is not the end of a cycle, but the beginning of a creation. An opportunity to transform the raw block of our lives into a work of art that carries our essence, our truth, our soul. Looking back at the years of youth, it's easy to see that they were marked by a vibrant chaos, a period of exploration, discovery, but also profound uncertainty. It is during this phase that we begin to ask ourselves, what does it mean to be successful? What is happiness? Who am I really? These questions, though essential, often go unanswered, drowned out by the rush of living, the need to fit in, and the pressure to build something that feels solid. Youth is like an open field full of possibilities, but also filled with paths whose destinations we cannot yet discern. In this whirlwind, we are encouraged to wear masks. Society teaches us that we need to appear confident even when we are insecure, that we must project an image of success even when we are still trying to understand what that means. And so we begin to build our lives around external expectations, shaping our choices to please others or to meet standards that don't always resonate with who we are inside. It's a period of experimentation, yes, but also of concessions, of adapting to what the world expects, often at the expense of our authenticity, and then we reach middle age. It is at this point that the questions we once ignored begin to resurface, but now with greater intensity. What was once a whisper becomes a shout. The midlife crisis, so feared and misunderstood, is in fact a call for transformation. It's as if life is telling us it's time to stop pretending. It's time to shed the masks and start truly living. This process, however, is not easy. Shedding the masks means confronting the parts of ourselves we've avoided for so long. It means admitting that some of the choices we made were not truly ours, that some of the things we pursued did not bring the happiness we expected. But it is precisely in this discomfort that the opportunity for change lies. Because as we strip away the layers we've accumulated over the years, we begin to reconnect with our essence. We start to ask ourselves, what do I really want? What makes me feel alive? How can I live more authentically? Youth, with all its chaos, gave us the tools to explore the world. But it is in middle age that we are invited to explore ourselves. The midlife crisis, far from being a sign of weakness or failure, is a portal to authenticity. It is the moment when we set aside others' expectations and begin to build a life that reflects who we truly are. And in doing so, we discover that true freedom is not in meeting external demands, but in living according to our own values and passions. Throughout life, we all construct something Carl Jung called the persona. This persona is like a social mask, an external identity we create to present ourselves to the world. It is shaped by societal expectations, cultural norms, the roles we play, and the demands around us. It is the version of ourselves we show to others, the one that seems appropriate, acceptable, functional. And for a time, this persona serves its purpose. It helps us navigate life's complexities, connect with others, and find our place in the world. But as the years go by, something begins to change. Middle age, with its transformative power, has the ability to reveal the cracks in the persona. It's as if, suddenly, the mask we've worn for so long begins to fracture. The things that once seemed meaningful no longer satisfy us. The roles we've played start to feel heavy. And most importantly, we realize that the persona, as useful as it has been, is not who we truly are. It is merely a layer, a construction, a facade. And behind it lies something much deeper, our true self. This moment of revelation can be unsettling. After all, we've spent years investing in the construction of this persona. It gave us a sense of security, belonging, and purpose. But at the same time, it also distanced us from our essence. And this is exactly what middle age invites us to confront. It's the moment to look beyond the mask and begin the process of individuation, the path to becoming whole, to living on our own terms. Individuation, as Jung described it, is not a quick or easy process. It doesn't happen overnight, nor is it marked by grand gestures or radical changes. On the contrary, it is a gradual path that begins with small questions. What truly matters to me? What are the values that guide my life? Am I living authentically or just following the script that was handed to me? These questions, though simple, have the power to lead us to profound reflections. They help us identify the parts of ourselves that have been repressed, ignored, or forgotten over time. And as we begin to explore these questions, something extraordinary happens. We start to free ourselves from the chains of the persona. We begin to realize that we no longer need to hide behind masks or meet others' expectations. We can finally allow ourselves to be who we truly are, with all our imperfections, contradictions, and uniqueness. And it is in this process of acceptance and reconnection that we find true freedom. And so we arrive at the central point of this entire journey. True life begins when we free ourselves from others' expectations. When we set aside the masks we wear to please, to fit in, to meet what the world expects of us. Middle age, with all its uncomfortable questions and revealing cracks, is in fact a gift. It is the moment when we are invited to stop living for others and start living for ourselves, to reconnect with our values, our passions, our essence. Because in the end, life is not about accumulating achievements that impress others, but about building a life that deeply resonates with who we are. And now, the question remains. Are you ready to follow your own path? Are you willing to look beyond the persona, to face the truths you may have avoided, to embrace the authenticity that has always been within you? This journey is not easy, but it is transformative. And, most importantly, it is yours. No one can walk it for you. But by taking the first step, you will discover that the freedom to be who you truly are is worth every effort. If this reflection resonated with you, if you feel ready to explore these ideas more deeply and transform your life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, we are committed to bringing content that challenges, inspires, and expands your perspective on yourself and the world. Leave a like to help us reach more people who, like you, are in search of authenticity and purpose. And of course, don't stop here. In the next video, we'll dive even deeper into questions that promise to blow your mind with wisdom. Because the journey to true life has no end. It is a continuous process of discovery, growth, and transformation. So, we'll see you there. And remember, the life you've always wanted to live is waiting for you. All you need to do is take the first step.